Okay, here we go. We're going to introduce some images to Lightroom into the JFC archive folder. And at this point in time, we're going to move to the File menu and say Import Photos and Videos, or the big button on the lower left-hand panel down here called Import. We can click on Import, and we're presented with the Import dialog box. Now there's a variety of features here. We can select the source, and we can navigate through the operation system level this way by going to the desktop, or another source navigating through our OS. Or we can look and see how the drives are set up. Here's my main hard drive on my laptop, and here's the primary external hard drive that I've been talking about through these videos. So we've created the catalog for the JFC archive, and so I'm going to target the archive folder, and you'll notice that the thumbnails will start to generate in the central viewing area. Next step in the process is to answer the question, what do you want to do? In this case here, you could say copy as DNG, or you could say copy. If I said copy, notice that the destination area starts to come up, and so it wants to copy it to a specific area. Or we could say move. Again, there has to be a defined destination for a move. But if I, in this case, say add, notice that the destination features on the right-hand side disappear. So what it means is that if I say add, I'm happy with this directory structure that I've created in my archive folder by loading up all these folders with images in it. And I just want to add them to the catalog without moving them or copying them. So let's look at the file handling feature here. The rendering of the previews, we could go ahead and render standard previews or one-to-one previews. In my case here, I'll render standard previews. We could say don't import suspected duplicates. Don't really need to worry, there's no other images associated with the catalog currently. But if it was, there would be some duplicates. It would find those duplicates and not import them if this is checked. We could make a second copy too to a different destination if that was an option. I'm not going to make a second copy at this time. I'm only adding images. But if I were copying images from a memory card, notice the option is available. Now, apply during import. What would I like to do? I could use some of my preset develop settings, or I could say none. So in this case here, I've got a preset called vivid color rendering. That could be applied. In this case here, I'll say none. I'm bringing in 3,600 images, and I don't need to process them with any develop settings first. But I would like to create a metadata preset. Okay, and I've created one already called Jerry Courvoisier Copyright Info. And so if I hit Edit Preset here, I can show you where the preset is and how it is developed. So what you do is you go in here and check which of the features of IPCT information you want to put in here. So in my case here, I have a Jerry Courvoisier copyright, 2012, copyrighted, all images copyright Jerry Courvoisier, all rights reserved, do not use in whole or part without written permission. So that's a statement that I have built in here. And then I have my copyright URL info, which is jerrycourvoisier.com. If I wanted to add some more information to the copyright preset, okay, this is a preset that I've created. And when I would save current settings as a new preset, I have the opportunity to name it. So in this case here, I've created the Jerry Courvoisier copyright, and if I wanted to put my name, address, and telephone number here, I've got those fields available as well. But in this case here, it's only the copyright that concerns me. Now, I'll skip out of here. You'll notice that because I created a preset, it's now available to me in the metadata area. Keywords associated with the images, since we're bringing in a whole variety of folders associated with all different images in this case, I'll wait to do my keywording within Lightroom. Okay, if I didn't want to bring in a series of images, what I could do is uncheck in the central viewing area the box associated with that image. Click it on, click it off. I could check them all or uncheck them all, and then go through and specifically check the ones that I wanted to bring in. That's another way to control what comes into your library. And when I'm finished with all of these adjustment features and so forth associated with the import dialog box, all I need to do is hit import. Upon hitting import, you lose the import dialog box, and you see the taskbar at the top says importing files at their current location. So what's going to happen now is that we can watch the catalog start to populate. The catalog is the total amount of images that will be included or referenced by Lightroom. And then we can see the folder generation here from the JFC archive folder, and you can see that it's now populating all the folders associated with the primary hard drive A and the JFC archive folder. This number should increase. It takes a bit of time to reference all these images, so we can come back to it in just a little bit. Now, as we're importing files at the current location, you can see the taskbar in the upper left-hand corner, and this Enable Reverse Geocoding dialog box comes up. Normally this happens the first time you bring information in, where images that have GPS coordinates embedded in the files, you're going to be asked if you want to enable it, allow Lightroom to send GPS coordinates to Google Maps to look up an address. And you're going to say yes to this, and that would work quite beneficially when you're working with the map function. You can also disable a feature in the future. Just see the Metadata tab of the catalog settings. I think we looked at that earlier in the catalog settings. But just to review, you could go up here, catalog settings. You could come over here to metadata, and you could turn this enabling reverse geocoding on or off right here as well.